tilt them by tilting their arms. Do you see that? Do you feel that? Feel this difference. First push. Feel. Every time. In your center. And you feel that difference?
Hey.
Okay? So your center gets whoo. Okay? So watch your center in this other version you're doing. Watch your center. Is it doing anything?
No.
No. Okay? So, boom. Up. Boom. Boom. It doesn't matter where you are. You see? Okay? Alright, so watch first, Tristan. So I'm going to do the same thing. Always, always in there. Never stay still. Tilt. Okay? The first thing you have to know is what it's not. Okay? You have to. It's not this. You see? It's something else. You have to know what it's not so that you go on the hunt. Okay? Most people will not hunt. They just stay with that first thing. Okay? Then they pretend that they saw something else. So they think that that was what they were looking at. But you can see, it's different. Okay? So I want you to look at what happens to his center, not how he falls or whatever. What is happening to his center? Okay? This whole pelvis area. Okay? So I'll do the same drills before. You see? Okay. Now, you go, well, that looks different. Okay? And you have only two possible answers. One, he's faking it. But if you understood motion, his body can't go that way. Okay? Or two, it's something I don't yet understand. So then you keep hunting. Okay? You have to first start there. I don't understand it, but it's different. Okay? Don't let the fact that you don't understand it justify you not hunting. Okay? Alright, let's try it again. Let me use your uke. Right. Okay. One of the common, I told you what your aim was. Your aim is the pelvis region, okay? But people will hear that and then they're going to do skeletal alignment into the shoulders. Do you understand this? So, let's say we're here and the skeletal alignment. Do you see that? And you're doing that all kinds of ways, all kinds. That's in her shoulders, right? And I want this thing to move, that thing. Do you see? Do you see that? Okay, so shoulders. Eventually you'll tip that over. That's really no different than this in terms of the angle of disturbance, okay? Wherever, even if you're in here, that thing has to go into her body, whole into her body, okay? So you're wherever you're touching, we're trying to displace the center. Do you see? Oh, however you touch. Yeah? And then in. Okay? And you can stay holding on unless I project you, okay? Oh, because I want to show you. Oh, back off. Do you see? In the body, back off. You feel that? Oh, there it is. There you go. And it's not a matter of going low, because you can go high, you see? Look at her pelvis. Whoa, do you see how she's going like that? Not, it's in her shoulders, it tips up. Whoa, there. Whoa, do you see? I'm changing the angles of her pelvis, okay? Whoa. Whoa. Okay, so again, I don't know how it's happening. I don't understand, but it's not the other thing. Okay? So you have to hunt. All right? So what is it not? It's not skeletal alignment in the shoulders. That is a throw. You can throw them like that. But same as the other one. The other one's a throw. You can tilt people. But it's not the skill we're working on right now. Okay? So you can see wherever, and the reason I went to this side, you see, he was grabbing me in the drills, and then I went to this side on rain. Did you notice that? I stopped her grabbing me, and I stuck to her. You see? You get it? And that's again, you're like, what? Okay, because now obviously it's not me going into his shoulders, because I can't. I'm here, okay? And that's enough, you see? Okay? So again, I don't know what it is. Cool. Keep going, keep hunting, okay? All right, so I'm not trying to lock his shoulders and push his shoulders. That's not it, okay? There you go. And we're going to look at what was said, that there's this pivoting. The center is pivoting, okay? Okay, does everyone see the pivoting? And the other alternative was projecting. So can you define the difference between projecting and pivoting? And we're talking about the center, right? And we're talking about this to note the difference so that I can begin to hunt. Because if it's not different, if it is what I'm doing, there's no hunt. Okay? So how would you define a pivoting of the center versus a projecting of the center? Anyone, go for it.
Pivoting requires, so when she comes in, it requires a hard surface where his center actually stops moving for a split sec, and then she's able to pivot off that center in a sense, versus projecting, which is the center comes in, it's still moving, and it comes back out, and it's always moving.
Okay. How about we use dimensions here?
So pivoting, you're only moving in one plane or in two dimensions, whereas with the projection, you're getting all three dimensions of movement.
Yeah, and in particular, the sagittal plane. Do you get that? If it's not traversing the sagittal plane, it's not projecting. Okay, so if I have a center and I have this vertical plane here, and I am just tilting it in that plane, do you see? But if I start moving it, do you see? It's not just tilting it, but boom, it gets traversing in the sagittal plane. Do you see that? So I want you to be, if you're going to hunt, you have to be specific. You have to define these things, okay? If you see something different, hunting means try to find out what is different, okay? So, pivoting, right? There's nothing wrong with pivoting. There's nothing. You can pivot by the same means, you see. But our drill is doing something different with those beans, okay? So I'm not doing a home this way. I'm doing this. Do you see that? Okay. And this is going to tie us back to your original question, okay? If you pay attention, right? Nothing is happening to him, 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 and now something's happening to him, okay? But he's here, and something was happening to him before my arms went back out, do you see? But it's so smooth and fast that it looks like nothing's happening to him, nothing's happening to him, nothing's happening to him, nothing until I start to go out. But something was happening to him when I came back. And that's what you noted. It was like the percussion, the percussiveness is not there. Because nothing's happening to you, nothing's happening to you until you go here. Do you see? Okay? And really, if you now look closer, I'll take my original uke so you can see. My arms are not, although they go in and out of my body, like away and in and out of my body to some degree, he was already going that way. Do you understand? You got to look for it now, okay? It's not me going here. Do you get that? He's already, do you see? And so, it's very subtle. Why do my arms go out with him? Because I'm keeping that connection, you see? This training, that's all. But I'm not pushing him. It's not a violation of yin and yang, okay? He's going that way, and I'm going with him that way, okay? So, as I'm doing it, boom, there's already a percussive energy that way, okay? You have to make sure that he hits that, okay? And then you're just following it. So I just take away this little beat there. I'll just smooth it out. So it looks like in, out, but it did not really look like that. You just thought you understood it. He's actually going out. Do you see? I'm going this way. He ends up going the other way. Boom. Do you see? It's not that he's here until I go there. Okay? So we're here. So I'll do your version without chain. So this is the tilt. And I'm going to do the same hand positioning, but I'm going to traverse. Boom. Do you see? Okay? So it's something else. Keep hunting. Okay. What was his understanding? Yeah, so a person is going up and out that way. So I must go up and out that way. You see that? I'm like, oh, that must be it. Okay. So now you have first. You got to go. Was that what I was watching? Right. So if I go. And am I going up? Am I going up like this? Or am I here's here? What do you think? Not going up, okay? So now go, which way is he going? It's not up, okay? That's how you hunt. It's not up, which way is he going? Can you tell? Down, down. Do you see? Down. This is the opposite, okay? It's the opposite, okay? So, this way made sense to where you're at now. How do I go the other way and make them go the other way, okay? You get, well, that's, you gotta hunt for it, okay? But we know that energy all the time. It's rebounding energy. Do you get it? You want to bounce the ball up, you got to first throw it down. It'll bounce up off of it. It's very similar, okay? All right, let's try it again. So, the point you were making was that you could feel closer to it if you remain relaxed, okay? And the response I made was, I think tension blocks the uke's energy, or stops, or causes it to deflect away from the greater mass here, the earth, and inhibits the rebounding, okay? So an example of this is if he's pushing and I tense, it stays up in my shoulders, do you see? And you can see my stance lift, do you see? But the more I relaxed I am, it goes down into my body, okay? And that tension can happen anywhere. It could happen down on my legs even, you see? I'm not quite all the way in, okay? So I have to be very relaxed, and that's really weird because in the same way that this was somewhat intuitive, right? This is what we imagine by relaxing. Okay, but that's obviously not what's happening. Do you see? Do you get that? And so, but this isn't it either. That's not it either, okay? That's a kind of energy. Yeah, it's an energy, and yeah, I can aim it into his center, and yeah, I can traverse his center along the mat, but that was not what I saw. Do you see? The arms are very loose, the face, everything is very, very loose. Do you get that? Okay? But it wasn't that either. Okay? Let us, we'll do a few so you can watch. Okay? This is something totally, it's different, okay? So you have to stop looking there, and you have to keep hunting, okay? In my opinion, all of the understandings can only be metaphorical, okay? They're literary, they're language games, you see. So if I talk about the energy being blocked into my shoulders, it's metaphorical. If I say the cheek is blocked, it's metaphorical to me. And what most of all keeps it metaphorical is that even if I have the description, the literary description, I won't be able to do it. Okay? So, that's why I just go with, it's not that, keep hunting, it's not that, keep hunting, it's not that, keep hunting. So far, we have had that it's not, it's in his center. It's in his center. It's not in his shoulders. Do you see? We also had it, the first one was we're not tilting him. And you can tilt him with good things. Obviously, this was a beginner technique, right? You can, this is still tilting him. You see, that's still tilting him. We also had that his center is projected, not just spinning in one plane. His center is moving, traversing, do you see? The sagittal plane. And it was also that he's going back before my arms go out, okay? And then we had the one that my center's going down, my center's not going up to make him go up. And now we had this one, it is very relaxed, okay? It's very relaxed. So these are all like, you know, what, 120 miles to Disneyland. Yeah, keep going, you're not there yet, right? 75 miles to keep going, you're not there yet, okay? Just use these as signposts, okay?